Hey Gia, it's Daniel Coles here. I'm currently in Vancouver. Our tournament went well, our trip's come to an end. The reason I'm making this video for you is just to show you, give you an example of the kind of stuff we do and what happened and what went on after we left you at the camp in Mississauga. So hope you enjoyed.
First stop after your camp was Western University in London. The reason we went to Western is because we wanted to work on our Greco and our throws with Dave Spinney. We worked on our shoulder throws with Steve Takahashi. We worked on our body lock lifts. We do this to get bigger so I can get bigger for my weight class.
Again, like we were doing before, I'm setting up.
And of course, Dave worked with us on upper body throws and Greco.
And when I'm ready to do it, I'm stepping here.
It wasn't quite as good as Yukiya, but it was pretty good. A little side note, one thing that happened at Western University is we finally taught Adam to do a backflip. It's crazy. It only took him about 2 days.
No touch! No touch!
One of the things that Dave did really well was he fed us like men. Next stop was Des Moines, Iowa. This is the next chapter of our trip. London's right about there, and the drive from London to Des Moines is over 1,000 kilometers. But this is just a small piece of our trip. The reason we were going to Iowa to train is because I had to train a style for my tournament that I don't like at all. American folk style. Every time I get put down, I couldn't figure out how to get up. It was exhausting. Fortunately, on the takedowns, I was able to compete with these guys. The person we were staying with in Iowa was a UFC fighter named Josh Neer. He's one of my dad's old friends right there. And one of the cool parts about traveling so much for the sport is you get to meet so many different and cool people and develop amazing relationships. And you find out that there's so many nice people in the world. Next stop was Utah. Utah is on the western side of the U.S. and the drive from Des Moines to Utah is very long, over 2,000 kilometers, and this was another part of our trip. We eventually arrived in Utah, and we stayed at Dylan's house, Dylan, the Greco guy from the US. Again, so many amazing people on this trip. After Utah, we took a huge 17-hour drive to Washington. This is the view from the hotel. Washington is where I was set to compete in my tournament. Now, me and Eric were both heavy, so we both had to cut weight that morning. Eric would be competing in some matches too. Now, let me talk about my tournament a bit. My first matches started out pretty well. I was able to get things that I wanted to work on done. I was even able to get up from the bottom, which is something in Iowa I was hopeless at. My first few matches went pretty smooth. But in the quarterfinals, against a really tough kid, I found myself in the third round down 7-3 with a little bit more than a minute left. So I knew I really had to turn up the tempo and try and break this guy. And that's exactly what I tried to do. Eventually, I was able to get to his leg and score a takedown. But now it was only 5-7, so I had to go for something that I'd learned only 4 days before with Dave. I tried it, it almost worked, and I had to go for it again. I went for it. It wasn't the cleanest of throws, but it worked, and I was able to squeeze by into the semifinals. This taught me that having throws and upper body techniques is extremely important, but also that having lots of technique in general can really save you. I had a good match in the semifinals. I took the guy down. He was able to take me down. But in the end, I was able to squeeze by with a win, which put me into the finals. The guy I had in the finals, he had beaten me before, and he was kind of bragging about how he'd beaten me, so I might have been a little bit annoyed. And one of my goals in this match against this guy was not only to beat him and beat him this time, but to break him. The first round was really even. He got into my leg, I defended, and the score was 0-0 all the way till 30 seconds left. And I was able to get my first takedown. And after that first takedown, it was all me. I said one of my goals was to break this guy, and I think I succeeded in doing that. So all in all, it was a good tournament, and I've seen some major improvements in my wrestling since I wrestled this guy last, and I'd say it was a success. But I didn't make this video just so I could brag about how I had a good tournament. The real reason for this video is to give you an example of what I'm willing to do to follow in your footsteps. This is all great stuff, the stuff I'm doing. And it'll make me the best in Canada without question, but will it make me the best in the world? Without you, Gia, the answer is no. I need someone who has real wrestling britches. Someone like you. And I can't think of anyone better in the world for that. Hopefully you consider our offer. Thanks for watching this video, and hopefully we get to see you soon. See you later.